Welcome to Eagle Eye.
What a break from Manolo!
Interviewing your favorite USA Eagles around the globe.
Tony Lamb into the 22.
Now, here's your host, Bill Baker.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Eagle Eye Rugby Podcast. I am Bill Baker. Thank you for listening. Meanwhile, please like, follow, and subscribe. Also, please leave a comment or a review. It really helps getting these interviews in front of more and more USA Rugby fans. All right. For those of you who know me, know that I'm a bit of a Free Jacks fan from Major League Rugby. Bit of a homer as well. So when I heard Free Jacks center Harry Barlow was selected to the 41-man USA squad, I was pumped. Not only for him, for the Free Jacks, but USA Rugby as well, going up against England and Ireland in July. However, unfortunately, Harry didn't make the 30-man travel squad, but this is a big step for him still. He's that much closer to getting his first senior cap for the Eagles, maybe even this fall, or this summer, depending on injuries and such. So Harry and I talk about making that 41-man roster and what it would mean to him to get his first USA cap. If he keeps going the way he's going, that'll be sooner than later. We also talk about the Free Jacks season and how impressed he's been with Major League Rugby and how much fun the league is when produced for the American sports market. Hope you enjoy the interview. Here I am with Harry. Harry, man, thanks for jumping on with me. How are you doing, man?
I'm real good. Had a chilly weekend. Had a fantastic Memorial weekend. And it's a little bit chilly in Boston, cold playing against Toronto. But no, nice to see the sun again. I'm all good. Yeah,
I was at the match over the weekend, and that was brutal. I mean, that was, I don't know, you got to be used to that kind of thing, the sideways rain, chilly matches from England style.
Yeah, that's certainly what I grew up with. Kind of reminded me of playing Sunday club rugby on a muddy field, but luckily it was turf, so no mud involved, which is nice for a winger. So yeah, I'm glad at least no mud, but it was cold, you're right.
So I noticed you've got this nickname called the Gentleman. What is that about?
You know what? I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I think probably the most part of it is from the accent alone. For when I signed with the Free Jacks, they just gave it to me straight away. And it's kind of stuck now, so it's probably the accent, but hey, I guess I try to keep my manners as well, but we'll see.
Yeah, because sometimes when someone gets a nickname, it's the opposite of, like you call somebody tiny, and they're huge.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, if the gentleman's opposite, oh no, we're in trouble.
Yeah, that could be the case as well. I don't know. As I said, I'm trying to figure it out, but you could be right as well. I think that's a question for the Free Jack staff to answer. I'll have to find out for you.
Moving on, congrats on the 41-man USA roster spot.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Now, your main goal is that senior cap, so it's still another step to get there. But talk about that moment when you heard the news. What did that mean to you to get to this stage now of being on the 41-man?
I mean, I'm still pinching myself now just to be even considered as part of this wider squad. It's just really surreal for me, and it's a dream come true really, because ever since school I've always looked at the US as this growing power as a team of rugby. So yeah, again, it's just a huge honor just to be even considered for this wider squad, and who knows where it goes, but I'm super happy. I think I've got to keep my head down, work hard, but yeah, for sure, man, it's a nice feeling, and my parents were happy about it. Family's happy about it. They think they miss me a bit. They're still back in the UK, but yeah, it's a great feeling. I was super surprised, but yeah, really happy.
I mean, you're playing really well this year. You've been playing center with the Free Jacks. Now, looking at that list of 41, not a ton of depth at center and at fullback. And if I understand, you've played some fullback as well.
Yeah, I mean, certainly growing up, and especially with my years at Harlequins, I learned a skill set of playing kind of all different positions, whether that was in training or our A-League games, as we called them. So I think centre's probably where I grew up, and I went into professional rugby as a centre, but obviously this year playing as a wing. But fullback is an option as well. I have to admit, I haven't actually got that much game time at fullback, but it's certainly somewhere where I have been training sometimes as well. So,
how familiar are you with the current USA pool? I mean, obviously we're familiar with McGinty, Hooley over in Europe, but and there's a big young crop with you as well who could get their first caps this summer. Are you pretty familiar with the squad?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, when I was at Harlequins with Paul Asike there, I was always asking about the squad and his experiences with the US, and he didn't have a bad word to say. He absolutely loves it, and he was telling me all the great things about the squad. So first of all, from hearing from him, that's where I've had my first point of contact. And then I also had the chance to play with Will McGee when I was on loan to London Scottish, and again he told me about all the experiences, not only just the US but the MLR. So yeah, I think the points of contact in the squad are there. I love learning about these kind of new players coming in as well, playing against these guys, especially in the MLR. And I think that's where you can really see your competition, what you're up against, the level you need to be. So yeah, I mean, it's getting familiar with the guys in there, but I still have a long way to go to learn everyone who's in it as well.
Absolutely, and let's talk about that decision for you to pursue a cap with USA. Obviously, you've played in several age groups with England. You mentioned schoolboy back then. You were thinking you already knew about USA, obviously, but when did you start putting two and two together and just realize that you were eligible to represent the USA?
Well, I've always known from a young age because, first of all, my dad doesn't stop talking about his time in California growing up. So I know it's eligible from dad. But I think it really hit me kind of on my second year / first year at Harlequins. I was with the age grade stuff, as you said, but again, I was kind of in and out of the squad, couple selections I missed out on. And things at Harlequins are great, but again, I didn't get as much opportunity as I probably hoped for. And I was looking at this league, the MLR, and I was looking at the US playing their internationals. I thought, I'd absolutely love to be part of that. And, throughout this crazy past 18 months I've had the amazing opportunity to not only come to this MLR, but now just to be recognised for this national honour as well. It's still surreal. It still feels like I'm dreaming. So I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's something I really wanted when I was about 18, 19 going forward. And now that it's finally starting to come together is really, really something I'm happy about.
Now, was that a driving force for you to come over here for MLR? Was it get more in front of Gary Gold and the other coaches to increase your chances of getting that cap?
I think it's certainly a big factor, 100%. Yeah, again, the MLR's got a great lifestyle. As you can see, it's growing more popular every weekend. But another great thing for me about it was, it might get that attention that was needed to try and maybe get selected. And I think, as you can see, the MLR is creating so much of that talent pool now for US Rugby. So I think going forward, 100% think it's going to be the kind of main pipeline, hopefully, for that national squad. But I knew it certainly would help.
So let's talk Free Jacks. Team's doing pretty good, middle of the pack. What's it going to take for this team to start to gel a little better? Obviously, you know what the team needs to do, but what's it going to take to start climbing that ladder to get higher in that position?
I think it's going to come down to a few key areas. I think an area that's hurt us quite a lot is discipline. And I know there's been a few, tough calls out there, but a lot of us know that we need to fix up on discipline. And I feel like last weekend was an improvement on that. So for sure, discipline, because before we're giving teams an easy exit from their 22, for example, when we really had them pinned down. And I think capitalising on our chances, I think especially in set piece, as backs, we need to finish off the hard work that the forwards get us there too. But also, I think capitalising that set piece, there's chances down in their half, and coming away with points every time they visit their half. I think that's going to be the key, what makes our success for our season. And I honestly think that's going to happen, just seeing the attitude from the boys at the moment. So, yeah.
So it seems like your team is just extremely strong at defense, especially in the backs. I feel like you guys are just teeing up people for hard hits. And there was a couple of stands there against Toronto that you just were, the whole team just held them, and the other team made that mistake. But is that what Coach Martin was working on from the beginning? Was defense big for him from the start?
Yeah, so it's Coach Martin, for sure. He really gets our we call them behaviours and effort. So that's kind of the top 2 inches, the attitude in defence. But it's James Willocks as well, working with our defence. He's really get us going with that idea of just going forward, keeping it simple, not overcomplicating defence, keeping it simple, just getting simple results. Because at the end of the day, defense can be simple if you keep to the basics. So I think the hard work of James Willicks and Ryan Martin for sure is seeing our defensive percentage going up each week, and hopefully it keeps staying at that number.
Yeah, no kidding. Talk about the team environment. What makes this team special? I feel like from what I've seen on social media, it's fun as well. You guys really enjoy playing together, but also you work really hard again. Talk about that team environment, the team character.
I've got to say, I think, how long have I been here? Since February. It's been the most fun I've had probably ever, to be honest. It's just been a wild range of different activities, ideas for meetings and training. One day we could be at the beach doing some sort of Navy SEAL style workout with Coach Ryan Martin that he thought of, or we could be, for example, we were doing recovery in the pool today, and even had a few games of water polo there. So it's huge fun, and obviously you have to get the balance right between fun and seriousness. But I feel like that's exactly where the experience of having Ryan is he gets that balance right, and everyone's morale is through the roof. Even after a loss, we pick ourselves up, we don't dwell on it, and we go again. So yeah, I think the team environment's excellent. It's probably the best I've ever seen actually in a team. So.
Well, I think you missed out. I believe it was last winter when the team was up at Mag's house running through the snow with logs on their shoulders, a.k.a. like Rocky V or something.
I've seen videos. I've talked to John Poland about that, kind of hiking up snow-covered hills. But, hey, they still said they loved it. So, maybe next pre-season we'll be doing that again. I'd love to get a part of that.
So let's talk about, for a second, let's talk about you specifically in the Free Jacks. When the team came calling and you signed with the team, were there certain expectations that the coach and the staff had for you, or was it more, Harry, come in the way you are and let's go? Were there some weight in your shoulder to kind of carry a load at all?
I think it was the day I signed back in, I think it was actually about a year ago now, in June. I was in lockdown. And I spoke to Ryan on the phone, and he said that he could see me part of the team just with what I bring to the field. So I like to think of that footwork, physicality, and just that kind of energy on the ball. And he said that he'd love to kind of have me a part of the team. And I said, yeah, for sure, I'd love to be part of it. And ever since then, he's not only improving me as a player, but he gives you confidence. And I feel like he's really brought out my confidence in the game and just to play what I believe makes me a good player. But at the same time, he's also drilling in that New Zealand skill set. Always working on that skills, always getting us to work hard in the gym with Jared Collinson, our S&C. So yeah, it's a mix between you do you're here for a reason, and we wouldn't have you here for a reason if it wasn't for a skill set you have. So capitalize on that, but also work on these weak areas here, because this could make you as he calls it, a world-class player. So yeah, I think it's a mix between that, but for sure he's given me confidence to really play how I like to.
That's outstanding. What has been your overall impression of MLR since you came in? I know you've seen it from afar, but to be involved on the field, what's your impression?
It's really interesting, but I think it's because it's rugby. It's still rugby at its foundation, but what I love about it, and I think Ben Foden actually spoke about it on his social media the other day, saying that it has that American twist in it, and that's actually the best thing about it, because the USA does sports arguably the best in the world. I mean, it's not only about the game, but it's also about the event. How can we bring families into it? How can we entertain when there's a stoppage in play? And I think that's what the MLR is doing the best. As a player, I love it. When there's a scrum and I'm on the wing, I love seeing Woodgie, our mascot, getting the crowd up, or someone playing Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. It's the best thing about the MLR, and I love the way, the direction it's going, and so I think it's only going to get bigger and bigger in that sense.
And you're right. I think to succeed in this country, it definitely has to have an American feel to it as well.
For sure.
We'll get there. And it's already getting there. We'll see how the summer and everything goes. So
yeah.
Finally, Harry, you have Sevens experience. Any aspirations of maybe hitting the pitch with the USA Sevens or trying to?
To be honest, I mean, again, if I was lucky to have the opportunity, it'd be very hard to say no. I feel like the US Sevens, I'm really hoping they're going to get a gold medal coming up. I feel like they have the squad for it, and I think if I ever in the future had the opportunity to represent this great country in Sevens as well, I would love to have the chance. I know Nate Ebner is going for it as well, and he's a bit of a role model as well. He's not only an owner as well, but he's a bit of a role model because he does football, Sevens, all of it, and even off the field he's doing pretty well. So yeah, Sevens would be pretty awesome. Sevens, 15s, I'd be grateful for whatever I get, but yeah, I don't think I'd be able to say no because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, just get them all. You've done 10s in Bermuda. You got 15s and 7s. Just get Mags to start a whole 7s program so you can just run with that.
Free Jack 7s coming up. Get a couple of the props in there. I'd love it.
Yeah, Harry, thank you so much for giving me your time. Good luck this weekend. Good luck the rest of the season.
Hey, yeah, thank you very much, and I appreciate you having me on here. It's I'm very grateful to speak to you, and yeah, thanks, and hopefully see what happens. But yeah, grateful to be involved anyway.